Hey folks, how's it going? Welcome back to another edition of If My Heart Had Wings. Last time in the series, we pretty much got some things, we learned some things actually about Kotori. It turns out it looks like she might have some interest in wanting to fly, so that's pretty interesting within itself. And then we learned more about Amane, showing the history of what she knows about airplanes and that they pretty much have the same principles of flight, whether it be a handmade airplane, whether it be an actual jumbo jet. They all have the same principles. So that was a pretty cool lesson to learn from this particular series. What do you think of the series? Let me know in the comments what you think of the series so far. So far, I'm really digging it. And I like also this picture. Let me just show you right quick. This thumbnail right here of the windmills. I mean, this whole just windmill hill right here. I could actually just lay out there and just watch the windmills and just enjoy the breeze. You know what I mean? It's just something about that scenery that's just really, really calming. So really, really awesome. So we're going to get started here on our next edition. And right as we were leaving, after we had forced Kotori back to class, and then we had a situation just after that where some mysterious person called out our main character's name. So we're going to find out what that is right now. Yes, we do want to load the data. Let's load it. Here we go. So we are being called out, and let's see who is calling us. Oh, we're back at the dorm, the boarding dorm. I went back to the dormitory, and someone called out to me when I was at the gate.
Aoi.
Tatsuya, huh? Anchan? When I saw who it was, my level of enthusiasm went up by 500%. Standing there was Anchan. I was thinking about going to see you tomorrow or some when.
お前に早く会いたくて仕事抜けてきちまった。久しぶりだな、葵。
They must go way back. Anchan ruffles my hair. Hey, stop. Hey, stop that, will ya? Completely ignoring my attempts to resist, Anchan gives me a noogie, grinding my hair round and round. I think that my hair was probably messed up pretty badly now. This is Tatsuya Igarashi, commonly known as Anchan. He's a childhood friend of Ageha and mine and is like a real big brother to us. He's much older than us, but we used to play together a lot as kids. Ah, jeez. You're messing up my hair.
悪い。昔を思い出してついな。
You haven't changed either, Anchan. Still the same as before.
おいおい。それ褒め言葉じゃないぞ。
Oh, isn't it?
そうさ。人は人どころに停滞してちゃいけない。変わっていくもんだ。
What Anchan says is true, but to me, I'd rather Anchan just stays the same as he is now. As I think about that, Anchan all of a sudden has a kind look on his face.
足、もういいのか。
Yeah, well, enough for everyday life.
そうか。大変だったな。
It's no big deal. I can have a normal life like this. On top of that, I had you there to watch me in the race where I tried the hardest.
あれはいいレースだったな。表彰台に乗ったお前、かっこよかったぞ。
I came third, though. In my previous school, I was in the cycle racing club. In the final race of the first grade, I was able to take the third place spot on the podium. It was my best result. For that race, Anchan traveled a long way to come and watch me.
3位でも立派だ。
Yeah. Because of Anchan's kindness, I felt a little tearful. He sensed how I was feeling and started to mess up my hair again. This time it wasn't so rough.
今はここの寮母をやってるんだってな。
Unfortunately. Yeah.
飛び魚そうか。懐かしいな。
We used to play here a lot. Oh, sorry. We used to play here a lot. We would come sneaking in.
ああ、そうだったな。
Huh? That wasn't the Anchan was talking. That wasn't Anchan talking about just now. That wasn't what Anchan was talking about just now. Sorry, folks.
ところで、あの子もここの寮生か？
Which girl is he talking about? Someone was hiding in the shadow of the gate. Kotori? It looked like she couldn't get past because Anchan and I were in the way. She could have just spoke to us normally, but instead she was hiding and watching us.
こんにちは、お嬢さん。
こんにちは。
Kotori was still being cautious, but returned the greeting. Then we got out of our way, then went into her composed mode and entered the dormitory.
あの子、ここの子だったのか。
You know her?
ああ、時々街で見かける。うちの工場の近くにでかい犬がいるだろう。
Pedigree? There's a big dog that goes by that name. I'm sure it was a Saint Bernard.
昨日はペディグリーの近くをうろうろしてたな。
Was she by any chance trying to stroke his head?
ああ、そんな感じだった。食い物をあげたりしてたんだが、あの犬、飼い主の餌以外食べないからな。
As I thought. That was in the things I want to do list. Stroke the head of the big dog in the neighborhood. It's really scary, but it might be unexpectedly friendly. If possible, I'd like to ride around on its back. So she was skipping school to go and do things like that. Well, I'll forget about Kotori for now.
とにかく、おかえり、葵。
It's good to be back, Anchan. I seemed a little embarrassed as I answered that. Anchan grinned at me.
困ったことがあったら遠慮なく頼れ。俺はお前らのあんちゃんなんだからな。
Parting with those words, Anchan turned to leave. Oh, that's right, Anchan. I know this is a bit soon, but I have a favor to ask. I took the parts that Amane had left me out of my bag. Along with it was a memo with the dimensions and so written on it. I need some parts the same as these. Would you be able to get one? Anchan's family runs a factory. It's known as a town factory, and it seems that they manufacture special ordered parts. Anchan works there right now. If Anchan can't do it, he might be able to use his connections with other engineers to introduce me to other factories. Anchan looks at the broken parts and the memo.
ダイヤフラムか。ああ、いいぞ。
He quickly answered.
手に入ったら連絡する。
Thanks, Anchan.
いいって。
Anchan raised one hand and turned to leave. Thanks to the fact that I was able to meet Anchan, I went back to my room in a good mood. I put my hand on the saddle of the bicycle in the corner of my room. I'm proud to have been able to stand on the podium in front of a buddy like Anchan.
高そうな自転車ね。
Before I realized, Kotori was next to me. What are you doing here?
さっき一緒に入ってきたの。気づいてなかったの？
Nope, I actually didn't. I hadn't realized. Do you want something? Without answering my question, Kotori opened a drawer in the desk.
ここね。違った。
She's still looking for that letter of resignation, more likely.
こっちかしら。
It looks like she's searching for something.
持ってるはずなのに。
There was nothing that I didn't want her to see, so I was unfazed when I questioned her. What are you doing?
探し物よ。見てわかるでしょ？
I know, but shouldn't you at least get the consent of the owner of the room?
あなたこそ早く返しなさいよ。持ってるの、わかってるのよ。
Got what?
だから。
Apparently, she was looking for the withdrawal notice that I picked up before. I don't know what you were looking for, but I don't think it's in here.
言い方が怪しい。絶対持ってるに違いないんだから。
Did you say something?
別に。
Seems like her search has come to a stop. However, Kotori isn't leaving the room and continues looking around the room.
私、男の子の部屋に入るなんて初めて。結構片付いてるのね。もっとゴミためみたいなのを想像してた。
Thanks for the stereotype, kid. I don't have many things. Thanks to that, moving house was easy. Kotori was staring straight at the bike, which gave off a unique presence in the room.
あなた、足どうかしたの？
I panicked at being asked so frankly. It's no big deal. Looks like she was listening to my conversation with Anchan. I just had a bit of an injury, but look, it's fine now. I lightly swing my leg to show her.
転校してきたのはその怪我のせいなの？
It's fine, really. Why do you ask?
別になんとなく。
There's no need for you to worry about it.
誰が心配なんてしたのよ。してません。1ミリたりともしてません。
Soon that it confirmed.
じゃあね、時間の無駄だったわ。
Kotori makes a straight face and goes back to her room. You're going again tomorrow, aren't you?
Huh?
To the garage at lunch. I'm not going, is what it felt like she was saying.
行くわよ。
Shocking. She answered and panicked as she left my room. Looks like I should make 3 lunch boxes this time. Today didn't go well either. Today's breakfast was another dismissal failure. Dismal. All the boarders showed their faces in the dining hall for breakfast, but the only one who had finished her meal was Kaneko. There must have been something wrong with it. All I have to do is make meals and clean. What a piece of cake. It's what I thought when I accepted the job as dorm mother, but my confidence is gradually fading.
何しけた面してんだよ、この裏切り者め。
What do you want? Masatsugu, joining me on the way to school, went out of his way to come and sling verbal abuse. A few things happened at the dormitory. Dealing with girls can be really, really tough.
そういうことなら俺に聞け。何せ俺今彼女いるもんね。
Yeah. Isn't she a freshman at Seizen Girls' School? Seizen Girls High School is a school for rich girls and is famous even in this neighborhood. The uniform has a reputation for being cute, so fans come from far and wide just to take a look.
エリちゃんって言うんだけどさ、写真見る？
He looks like he's about to show me, so I go along with it. Whoa, seriously? She's cute.
だろう？一緒にバンドやってんだ。エリちゃんがボーカルとベースで、俺がギター。
Nice. Mabo, you can play guitar?
エリちゃんのために必死に練習した。今じゃインギー並みの早弾きだってできるぜ。
Dararara. He goes as he shows off some great air guitar. Anyway, who the hell is Moe?
お前さ、前の学校で自転車やってたんじゃねえの？
Yeah, I was. What about it?
もうやんねえわけ？でもうちには自転車部なんてねえけど。
Wait a minute. We even don't have a cycle racing club at our school, though. Yeah, I don't do it anymore. Masatsugu's face seemed to say, it's got nothing to do with me, though.
でっかい大会で表彰台に上がったんだろ？
Did you hear that from Anchan?
アゲハもホタルも今度のレースは応援にくっついてくってあんちゃんに言ってたんだぜ。まあ一応俺もだけどな。
Hmm? That made me go a bit red.
あ、勘違いすんなよ。俺はお前がブザマに負けるところを見に行くつもりだったわけで。
Thanks, friend.
別に応援なんかするつもりなかったんだからな。
Male tsundere confirmed. Yeah, I get it. Don't get so flustered.
アゲハのやつ悔しがってたぞ。お前のいいとこ見られなくて。お前そういうの分かってんのか？
No, I didn't know. I never thought that I would make it to the podium. Even if I knew, it was too far away for me to say, "Come on, watch me."
なのにろくに連絡もよこさねえでよ。
Same goes for the both of us. Besides, I sent you a New Year card every year, didn't I?
あんなコンビニで売ってるプリント済みのやつでか。
What's wrong with those? You did the same thing. Anyways, your New Year cards usually arrive at the end of January.
返してもらえるだけありがたいと思えこの。
おお、珍しい二人組発見。
Here we go. Hi, Ageha.
はよーす。どうしたのマーボー？
Matsutsugu was sneakily hiding in my shadow.
別になんでもねえよ。あんま慣れ慣れしくすんなよ。エリちゃんが怒るから。
はいはい。かわいいかわいい彼女ですもんね。
Jokingly, Ageha deliberately keeps her distance from Masatsugu as she walks. Masatsugu comes up beside me and gives me a little poke in the ribs.
さっきの話、アゲハには内緒な。
What thing?
あいつがお前のレース見に行きたがってたって話。
Okay, I got it. Is it the sort of thing that needs to be kept a secret?
何男同士でベタベタしてんの？
ちげえよ。誰がこんなやつだ。ペッペ。
Ugh, gross. You don't have to actually spit.
仲いいね。焼けちゃうわ。
バカアゲハ。
I can't really stand tsunderes. Yeah, don't say weird things like that. Lunchtime. Today, I didn't eat my lunchbox early. As I basked in the tiny sense of achievement and got my lunchbox out, Kotori had already disappeared from the classroom. Is that supposed to be pacing in the wheelchair? As she looked out into the hallway, she was moving back and forth as if she were saying, should I go forward? No. Maybe I should go back. Are you waiting for me? Letting out a cry, not really befitting a pretty little girl, Kotori fanned herself with her left hand as if to calm herself down. I'm absolutely harmless. No need to get startled. Sorry, I only wanted to speak to you, that's all. You're going, aren't you? To the garage? Then why don't you go? Okay, shall we go? I push her wheelchair on the way. Here, hold this, would you? I pass my bag to her. The garage was open, but there was no one there. For some reason, it felt like Amane was always here, so it was a little surprising. The air conditioning not turned on, so it's quite humid. What should we do? Kotori subconsciously put her hand on her stomach. Shall we have our lunch in here? I made one for you too, Kotori. I mean leftovers from breakfast. Kotori didn't come to have any breakfast this morning, so she shouldn't have any way of knowing what food was served. No, I'm just meddling. 1, 2, 3. I put the 3 lunch boxes on the workbench. I went to the trouble of making one for Amane too, though. The air conditioner isn't turned on in the garage, so if I just leave it here, it'll go bad. There's a refrigerator, so I decide to put it in there. If I leave a note on the desk, she'll realize and then eat it, won't she? Could you turn on the electric fan? Kotori turns on the nearby electric fan. I can't find the remote controller. It's probably buried somewhere. We open up the lunch boxes in the place that gets the full force of the wind from the electric fan. This morning's breakfast was curry. You don't like it? You can complain after you've eaten it. Kotori has a meek look on her face as she moves the cold curry towards her mouth. It would be good if we had a microwave, though. For a little while, the two of us quietly eat our curry. Today there was no sheet covering the glider. I gazed at the simple, sleek shape of its body and thought it was beautiful. I imagined the aircraft cutting through the air as it flew. When riding a bicycle, your greatest enemy is the wind. Kotori's face seemed to say, "What is this guy talking about all of a sudden?" But I carry on regardless. The worst thing is when you have a headwind. While it is constantly pushing you back, you have to keep pedaling. I faced the wind coming through the electric fan, set to strong, and I remember that feeling a little. The feeling of the wind gradually draining my stamina. That's why when we ride a bicycle, we try to find ways to reduce air resistance. Not just the shape of the bike or the helmet. During the race, we cooperate with the members of other teams and form a group while riding. I thought that when riding a bike, it would be better if the wind would not blow. But this thing rides the wind to fly.
ジェットエンジンもプロペラもないのにね。
If we hadn't actually seen it flying that day, even with the real thing right in front of us, we wouldn't be able to imagine it flying. Speaking of which, Kotori, how do you know about gliders? She didn't really know that much about them. That was the first time she had seen a real one.
別にちょっと本で読んだだけ。
Somehow it seems like it's hard for her to answer, so I decide not to go any further. Speaking of books, there's a bookshelf here, lined with many books. Looking closely, they are all related to gliders or aircraft. I pick one up and take a look inside. It's all in English. It's all in English. I can't read it. It's not like my grades in English are bad, but with the level of English I have from studying at school, reading academic papers is really tough. Seems like Kotori is the same.
こっちの本は写真がいっぱい載ってるわ。
There was a book that had many photos of gliders, like a catalog. There are so many different types. The shape of the wings, the size, and so on. Even with gliders, there are so many different varieties.
見てこれ。
What's happening in this picture?
山の上を飛んでる。
It looks so natural that I didn't really notice, but the glider was flying high enough that it could look down on the mountain. They can fly that high? Kotori and I, without realizing, both look at the glider sitting over there. With its wings removed, we currently really grasp the full size of it, but at a glance, it didn't seem like all that different to the glider in the photo. Amane had said that it could go above the clouds. I wonder what it feels like to fly through the sky.
きっと最高の気分よ。上昇気流に乗って飛ぶなんてまるで鳥になったみたいじゃない。
After we finished our lunchboxes, we stayed for a little longer. We spent the time looking at books and admiring the glider. When the bell rang, it felt like the time to enjoy ourselves was over, and I felt a little sad.
何かしらこれ。
Just as we were about to go back to the classroom, Kotori noticed a photo frame on Amane's desk. I wonder what this is. The weird thing was that there was a photo frame, but no photo inside. An empty photo frame had been placed there. In her case, she probably managed to lose just the photo inside. What's up?
なんでもないわ。行きましょう。ここ暑くてたまんない。
The moment we stepped out, the sauna-like garage, the air outside felt cool. Ugh, I'm worn out. It's easy to say clean the bathroom, but I never thought it would be such a big job. Plus, there's no air conditioning in there, so I'm sweltering. The trouble is, if I don't do this every day during the summertime, the mold will start growing. It's not just about hygiene. It's kind of gross, too. There's no way you can take a bath with there's mold growing everywhere. My cell phone rang. On the display, it showed home. Hello?
もしもし葵、私だけど
What's up?
別にどうしてるかと思って。どう？順調？
I can't say it's going smoothly. I didn't think much of it when I accepted, but it turned out to be pretty tough.
そりゃそうよ。楽な仕事なんてないのよ。
Going to school every day and doing the work of a dorm mother is wearing me out. I realized this after only a few days. This is a lot of work.
でも今はその方がいいんじゃない？
Why?
嫌なこと思い出さずに済むじゃない。
Well, if that's what you think, don't talk about it.
それともママが恋しくなった？
A mother like you? She's the kind of mother who loves teasing her son. But did she get me into this dorm mother job because she was worried about me? I'm so busy that I don't have time to dwell on things. Speaking in the hallway, the other boarders may have been able to hear me, so I went back to my room. We continue our silly parent-child conversation. My mother is a fiercely independent person and a hard-working career woman. Many things have been happening until recently. Well, they're still going on now, and we were living separately. I'm a bit too old to be missing my mother, though. It's enough for me to just speak to her from time to time.
学校の方はどうなの？
It's going fine. Ageha is there too.
あげはちゃん綺麗になったわね。この間久しぶりに会ってびっくりしちゃった。
Me too. She's like a proper girl now.
あら、そんな風に余裕ぶっこいてられるのも今のうちよ。あげはちゃん、これからもっともっと綺麗になるわよ。愛想もいいし、気遣いもできるし、間違いなくモテるわね。
Jeez, cut it out. What are you talking about?
あらやだ、口が悪いわね。誰に似たのかしら。
Yeah, you. Would a mother usually tell her son to go chasing after girls?
それじゃ、頑張ってね。トラブルがあったらすぐ言いなさい。
Sure.
それから、もし仕事が大変だったら、寮生に負担してもらってもいいのよ。超格安物件なんだから、そのくらいしてもらわないと。
I'll think about it.
それじゃ、おやすみ、葵ちゃん。
She called me that on purpose because she knows I don't like it, then ended the call. My father is the one who chose to call me Aoi, but it's kind of a girl's name, so I was often teased about it, and it seems she still remembers. I put down my phone and take a look at the boarding students' roster. As for the boarders' jobs, cleaning their own room is a given. Then there is cleaning the hallways and entrance, as well as the dining hall. On the other hand, my jobs are to prepare breakfast and dinner, clean up afterwards, clean the bathroom, and the garden and other miscellaneous chores. It is actually pretty tough. Maybe I should ask for some help. Even if I can just get them to clean the bathroom, that would be a real lifesaver. Huh? Yuka? Yuka, who was in the dining hall, the tall fourth grader, and the one who'd been here the longest, seems surprised as I call out to her.
何かしら、水瀬君。
Can I ask you a question? I lay out the roster that I was just looking at on the table where Yuka is sitting. Yuka, who should be used to seeing this, looks at it with curiosity. Kotori doesn't have her name on the job roster. Starting with Kaneko, then Yuka. There are 4 names, but Kotori's name is not there.
だってあの子
Yuka looks towards the dining hall door as she speaks.
足が不自由だから
I see. So that's why. Thank you.
いえ
Okay, folks, with that, I think we're going to call it here. I don't want this to get too long. So with that, we're just going to do a save right here. All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed that. I sure am. The more I get into this this particular story, the more and more interesting it becomes, especially with flying. You know, one little fact about me is at one point I actually did want to kind of become a pilot, and then that kind of just strayed away as I got more into sound reinforcement and audio engineering, stuff like that. But at one point, flying was a bit of an option for me. But then after that, I was just like, nah, it's time to take a new approach. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like if you did. Please subscribe. And again, I always appreciate all of your support for everything. And until next time, happy mixing, everyone.